Good morning, everyone. Today we will class the research and writing for 6th week. Today we will study the data collection techniques. We have some research need for data first, and then analysis and make conclusion, and then final conclusion. You can write there your opinion or your idea in conclusion. So before that make the conclusion, you can make the body. So last time I talked to you most of research paper introduction and body and conclusion. So 3 sectors make some report or research report. That's why introduction and body and conclusion style. So how to you using belongs among the bodies. You have to choose the data first. So you did you make some idea, and then how to you make conclusion or your idea, and then the first step is data collection. So today we will study the data collection. There are many kind of techniques and steps, types. So today I will let you know the steps, data, what is the data, and then what is the information, and how can we get the collection the data. So I want to introduce the data collection techniques. So data collection techniques refers to method, some kind of method used to correct and analysis. Different forms of data. There are many kind of different data formats. So standard data collection techniques include going through documents related to topic, conducting interview with people who know about the subject. This is sampling. And the listening observation. There are many kind of techniques and the steps and the method of data collection. So listening observation. It can be have solidified the information gathered. So if we correct some data or some listing observation, and then we can automatically gather the information from the data. This is data collection techniques. So first, I want to review the data. What is the data? What is data? Shows the pictures, quantities, information, graphs, measurement, observations, facts, numbers, etc. These things is data. In common uses, data collection of discrete or continuous values. Last time I talked to you, I like very much for words values. Nowadays, as you know, we are in the United States President's law. So there are many kind of report about the laws in next week, Tuesday, November 5th. So nominated President Harris focused the values. Many times he expressed the American values. What is American values and democracy? The other story is freedom and value and democracy. They expressed freedom and democracy. And detailed thing is about economics and immigrants and medical, lots of issues in there. But the first thing is, what is the American values? But the other side, Donald Trump pushed to the freedom. He never says American value over democracy. On his freedom and immigrants and some great, okay, that's it. Something. So I don't like the style, but this is my own, I think. Anyway, nowadays, barely express the values any other period. So value is also related in data. So data that conveys information describing the quantity, quality, fact, or statistics. Other basic unit of measuring or simply sequences of symbols that may be further interpreted formally. So it means data has different type. How do we formally interpret about the data? Also, there are very simplified sequences of symbols. Symbols also includes many information in symbols. It is also data itself. Also, data means an individual value in a collection of data. It's data. Data are usually organized into structures such as tables. Tables provide additional context and meaning. The table is very easy to understand format. And may themselves be used as data in larger structures. There are many very difficult and complex structure. And then how do we make this formally or simplify the data can read it or get the information easily. Data may be used as variables. Variables. Variables is some factors. So variables have two kinds of way. You know that is independent variables and dependent variables. Variables is moving. So fluctuation or very closely based moving. So anyway, data may be used as values in a computational process. We have to computational. It means it's measure or calculate things. It's computational data. So we computational process meaning is times or minus or plus or some divided. This processing is used the values of data. Data may present abstract ideas or concrete measurement. It means if we show the data can represent abstract ideas, very abstract idea in data itself, or concrete, very manifest measurement. This is data. Also, data is commonly used in scientific research, economics, and virtually every other form of human organization activities. Most usefully, scientific research, the data is very big resources in scientific research. Also, economics. Economics has lots of data. So last time, when I was admitted in college level, we can choose after 1 year. It means there are 4 kinds of major: economics, business, accounting, and international business. Nowadays it's very confusing. So at that time, after 1 year, we have to choose the main major in business administration. So at the time, I choose the business and econ. So that's why we are using a lot of data. Also, what is the criteria of decision by major is instructors or professors recommend to us. Do you easily understand the table or some model or graphic? It's easy to your idea, and then I can use the economics. And the other part is you like some numbering, simply decision making, something like that is accounting part. And international business is, as you know, this international business is very export and import area and exchange rate or something like that. Very concerned about things, you can choose the international business. Anyway, the data are commonly used in the scientific research and economics. Also, data are collected using techniques such as measurement, observation, query, or analysis. Say again, data are collected using techniques. Later we will use the data collection techniques. So what kind of techniques? Such as measurement, observation, questionnaire is query, or analysis. They are typically represented as numbers or characters, maybe further processes. Data is expressed for numbers or characters. Also, experimental data are data gathered in the course of controlled scientific experiences. This is empirical data. Empirical data is repeated labs and then gather output and the correct things, the output. This is also data. We think this is we say experimental data. Also, data are analyzed using techniques, for example, calculation, reasoning, discussion, presentation, visualization, or other forms of post-analysis. I say this data can show information itself. But if data are analyzed using the techniques, and then we can use the calculation, reasoning, discussion, presentation, visualization. So prior to analysis of data, we say raw data or unpreceded data. It's typically cleaned. Cleaned means it's not biased, unbiased. It means it's very pure. But we are, if we calculate by times, divide, minus, plus, or any information, any equation, insert that, and the data is manipulated. These data we say secondary data. Later we will review that. Outlier remove and appears instruments or data entry errors are corrected. So these things, data, raw data. Also, there are data can be seen as the smallest units of factual information. It can be used as a basis for calculation, reasoning, or discussion. Also, as I said, the data can show for abstract. So nowadays, as you know, there are big data. You heard a lot. So advances in computing technologies have led to the advent of big data, which usually refers to very large quantities of data. Tremendous data. This is big data. Usually at the petabyte scale. Petabyte means is megabyte, terabyte, or something. Using traditional data analysis method and computing, working with such large data sets are very, very difficult. In this past, the relative low field of data science uses machine learning. As you know, this year for Nobel Prize in physics. Which one? Oh, machine learning experts get the Nobel Prize this year. Or artificial intelligence, as you know, this AI. These methods allows for efficient application of analytic method of big data. So we are very quantities of data, very large quantities, tremendous or big data. Tremendous data or large quantities of data is big data. Big data is used by data science, machine learning, or AI, artificial intelligence. So these things, actions, application of analytic method of big data, very powerful. Only using it. So I'll show you data has word, image, word, numbers, sounds, and lots of shape. So where is it? I'll show this one. Yeah. Data and information processing. If we large quantities of data, and we can use these data for some, I don't know, they are processing. Yeah? Some kind of processing, and then automatically it can be used information. Data processing and information is how do we get the information from data. As I said, nowadays it's AI, big data, and some machine learning, something like that. Anyway, the data is different forms, such as image, word, or sound, symbols, or numbers, mostly numbers. So what kind of type of data? It shows the quantitative data and the qualitative data. Qualitative data is names. We our class name. The name list of the name is qualitative data. For example, Sam, Max, Sam, Harris, Lee, or something. And smell. What kind of smell? Fruity, smoky, peppermint, salty, or something like that. Vinegar. This smell is also qualitative data. Also, the other example is colors. Yellow color, blue, black, white. It's qualitative data. But it's some kind of data is confusing. For example, in the United States, most people like which color for your car. I know the best favorite car is white. White is about 20 to 25% car in white color. So this is qualitative data, but how many peoples have white car? It means numbering. For example, 3,000, 5,000. It means it's quantitative data. So these two data types is mixed. So quantitative data is shoe size. What kind of your shoe size? 5, 10, 10 and a half, 11 or something. And the height of students. What is 6 foot or 5 foot 10 inch or something like that. This is the height of the weight also same. Weight of students. 40 pounds, 140 pounds, 150 pounds or something. Mostly confusing you guys from your country, mostly from the Asia. So in the United States, using the very different measures system, weight and height. Pound is very difficult to using that, and the temperature also. Fahrenheit also. The height is feet. So in the conference in the Washington D.C., they argued for a long time for using the meter system and kilogram system, but it's very, very big expenses to change that, the measurement. Lots of problem there. That's why now keep going and insist the unique United States style. And next, I show the data become information, some kind of processing. Later we processing is one by one, introduce them. And finally, the information from the data. What is the information? The definition is data that has been proceeded. This is some kind of process. Or manipulated. Manipulated means raw data become second data by manipulation. Also as organized, very scattered data and organized or sorting. In a way, suitable for human interpretation. It means humans can interpret the data and then the output is information. The process is manipulated or organized, etc. This process is information from data. If you are trying to decide what to wear, the current temperature is information because it is a logical help to your decision. It means today we will be very cold. They announce from the temperature. This is data. And then you can get the information, oh, today I will wear the long sleeve or half sleeve, pants, half pants, or some suit, something like that. This is information. And one more procedure from data. Last time I talked several times. Data, process, and then information. As I show these pictures, processing. So data processing, and become information. Why this procedure? We get the information. For what? For decision making. I have only data. It means some measures the temperature, and then processing is some expert processing the data, and then information. Tomorrow, very cold. 80, very cold means below 70, 65 Fahrenheit. It's very cold. This is information. And then I can make the adequate decision making for tomorrow dress code. This is for processing. Also in the business or business econ part, lots of using this system. There are many kind of per. Per is the stack price. And the processing is stack price is loaded and manipulated. It means processing. And then get information. It means it's tomorrow. Lots of the graphic in time. This is per. The stack pricing. So today, this stock price, this one, or something more, 13 more, 1,000 more something. Problem is tomorrow going up, even or going down. This is very big issues. So record is data and processing or manipulate or some analysis, and then we can forecast or anticipate the tomorrow's stock price. They are increase, decrease, or higher, even. And then the investors get this information and decision making. I sell I buy. These things is same procedure, data and information. And finally, what do you want? What is the result? I want to very educate or rational decision making. This processing. Why I say this procedure in the research and writing? Same thing. You want to make sure some new idea for your research and gather information and processing and gather information and then finally get output. Output is some kind of conclusion. And then you can make your idea for your research, for some human processor. He said it's a human interpretation. Everything is related to human interpretation because we are living here. So that's why information is related, very suitable for human interpretation. The other definition is that there are no clearly understood and commonly agreed definition of information because a very wide concept, wide range for definition of information. But it is most often confused with data, sometimes, but I don't accept that. So data and information is commonly confused with the same thing. But information is exactly different. So data versus information is this. Follow these pictures. Data can be defined as a representation of fact, concept, or instructions in formalized manner which should be suitable for communication. Communication means human interpretation. Interpretation or processing by human or electronic machine. Electronic machine is machine learning or something like that. So the data should be suitable for communication, interpretation, or processing by human or electronic machine. But on the other hand, the information is organized or classified data, which has some meaningful values for the receiver. Information is the processed data on which decision and action are based. I say the decision. So some kind of actions. These things is information. So the further study relate the data and the information, it shows the pictures. But low level is data. And data become information by processing. And information is become knowledge. And knowledge become wisdom. So knowledge and wisdom is, some books say, decision-making process, decision-making concept. So the bottom line data example is hourly temperature, humidity, precipitation, reading for the rainy day. We can use the huge computer, supercomputer, and can anticipate the data, raining date. And information is from data by processing, such as information is reading organized in a continuum over the course of a day. This is information. So information means tomorrow we will cold or hot or warm or something. And also information become knowledge by some kind of processing. Knowledge means identifying the patterns, also as humidity rises and temperature drops, the atmosphere can hold less moisture. It means it's a related rainy date. Knowledge means, tomorrow, if tomorrow rainy days, I prepare the umbrella or something like that. Tomorrow is cold, okay, I keep the very thick weathers, something close. And finally, wisdom is from knowledge. It means related example to temperature, applying the knowledge of the pattern to prediction the possibility of rain. It means, okay, I got an umbrella. I got a warm suit, something like that. This is wisdom. Wisdom means I follow the educated decision making. But it is some reference for your college level. If you get the wisdom from the data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. So wisdom means rational or not. So most humans follow the rational decision making or not. This is at this time somebody is very good wisdom. Is very wisdomized people. Wisdomized or something. So every time, anytime, whatever, humans follow the national order. In the economics, the first start the economics very long time ago, they are very big argues nation. All human beings follow the national order. This thing is processes the democratic and republic. Also invisible hand. There are many theories from the rational. So maybe next time to economic class, I'll introduce more deeply concept. Anyway, example of data, information, knowledge, wisdom. These things is data processing and get the information, and finally they using the rational decision making. Okay, come back in here. So what's that? 103. Okay, here. So definition of information is two kind of meanings. One thing is facts about something. Fact is information. Now it's an interesting story for you guys. Donald Trump is nominated in the Republican presidency. He said, last time I talked to him, he became the president elected for 4 years ago. And there are some clear in front of the Washington DC White House. At that time, there are no crowded people in there. So some reporters ask him, you are some not absence for your pictures, or some congratulations is not coming for something. And then Donald Trump is a little bit angry, and he says, next time, he said, this some newspaper has compared the President Obama pictures as President's pictures of Donald Trump. So we compare two pictures. Obama pictures is very crowded people in there, but Donald Trump is very scarce people there. So he is very angry to the newspaper. I don't know this, I forgot the newspaper. And then he makes some very unique words. I said definition of information, fact about something. He said alternative. Alternative facts. Did you have that word? Alternative facts. It means, depends on your idea. Even if the fact is very crowded people and scarce people, but you can choose the alternative fact. So very funny response of Trump. So now he can use this word anymore. But it's very interesting nowadays. Anyway. So as a noun, information pertains, keeps to fact, provide, or learn about something or someone. So information includes the facts provided or learned about something. We can get some idea. This definition often appears in contexts such as data collection, research, or communication. So fact. It is also associated with knowledge sharing and education. So fact or not. You know, in the United States, in elementary school, some content by following the Bible or not, creative or not, the progress. This is fact or not, depends on your idea. Fact is supposed to be or should be examined, or some evidence for scientific fact. So God created this world. This is fact or not. This is the religious area. So we say the knowledge and the education, because information is associated with knowledge. Knowledge is okay, but we follow by scientific research, scientific subject. And also education is the same thing. So in the United States, basic argues in elementary school by follow the Bible or not. Sometimes in the network, a newspaper is arguing about that. Very interesting, you might say. Let's come back again. Okay, anyway. Definition of information means representative data. So it means if you get some information from the data, some kind of representative data. you should be use the data and then representative the information. So when uses as noun, information can be described representative data. This use originates from fields like computer science or data science, data analysis, suggesting a structured and organized set of data. So representative data means in especially area, computer science area, and data analysis part. So definitely, if you want the information from the data, you can be represented from the data. For example, binary code is 1 or 2 binary code, so 1 or 0. It represents information that the computer can process. So we are using the decimal type, 0 to 9. But in computer science, it's plus and minus by electronic system. So 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, something like that. 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, something. So if you represent A is 0, 1, or B is 0, 0, 1, 1, something like that. This is for binary code, because it's the electronic is push 1, only to binary. That's why the computer science is using the binary system. But we are using this 1 to 9 decimal style. So in computer science, we are automatically can convert the binary code. Anyway, the information should be representative data. Okay. So we did the review of data and the information. So now we'll come back in the data collection. What's in the data collection? Data collection is a systematic process. I say the data processing and information. The data collection is a systematic process of gathering observation or measurement. This is data collection. Gather the observation and measurement. All these things follow the systematic process, and then we have data collection. Whether you are performing research for business, governmental, or academic purposes, data collection allows you to get first-hand knowledge and original insight into your research problem. Last time I talked to you, data can show itself for abstract. It means if we get the data collection, it allows to gain first-hand knowledge. If we're getting the data, and then we can read it, the first-hand knowledge and the original insight into your research problem. So original insight means is if you're getting some data and then you can read the insight values. While method and aims may differ between fields, the overall process of data collection remains largely the same. Before you begin the data collecting data, you need to consider something. First thing is, what is the aim of the research? And also, what is the type of data will be correct? Also, the method and the procedures you will use the correct store and process the data. Some data is kept save. Sometimes it's going past time and then this insert the bias thing. So anyway, we have to consider data collection. Think of the three things. First, the aim of the research. What is saying? And the type of data you will collect. And also the method and the procedure. You will use the correct, store, and processing the data. There are many kinds of processes, I said. So anyway, this aim, type, method, and procedure. These things is you have to consider before data collection. The correct high quality data is relevant to your purpose. I love these 4 steps. Let's see. There are many methods, data collection techniques, something. As one by one, I developed this one. So data collection, techniques in research. I will review with you just briefly method of data collection, type of data, tools for data collection, steps in the data collection, challenges in data collection, further problem. So I will review 5 steps about the data collection. So, for example, the data collection is, as I said, is primarily or more raw data. And the secondary data is different collection method. Primary data, the raw data using the method, for example, statistical method, survey, polls. Now very powerful tools who is elected by presidents in the United States for next 4 years. These polls, interview, Delphi method, focus groups, and observation. But the other hand, the second data collection method, for example, financial report, sales reports, government reports, mission, vision states, internet, etc. So a little bit different. What is the difference between the mission and the vision? Mission and vision. This is homework. What is the difference between mission and vision? If you have some time, can you check it, the mission and vision? Very simple definition, even if it is very difficult to that, very complex thing. Mission is your goals. Okay, I will be medical doctor. What is the vision? If I want to the medical doctors and what kind of procedure? Okay, I have to study a lot. This is vision. I have some goals. Become a medical doctor. Vision is I have to learn a lot and educate action for preparing medical school admission. This is vision. So this thing is strategic part. This thing is tactics part. Something like that. For example, not with that. But anyway, if you have a concern about it, check it. What is the difference? What are the difference between mission and vision? This is anyway the secondary data collection method. So, for example, the data collection, later we will review that. But the first thing is observation. For example, observation, questionnaires, inquiry, and interviews, focus group sessions. These things is representative collection data. Data collection method, there are many kinds of methods. And also type of the data collection is very similar item. As I said, is a primary data, raw data collection method, survey, interview, opinion polls. This is first stage. But the second data collection example is company annual report, financial report, marketing report, sales record, internet information, such these things is secondary data collection. So we will review the one by one the data collection techniques, but briefly before reviewing that, the 7 data collection techniques: observation, interview and focus group, transactional tracking, social media monitoring, online tracking, surveys, forms, is 7 kind of data collection techniques. We will review one by one briefly. And as I said, we will study the process by these pictures, data collection technique in research area. First, method of data collection, and continue the type of data, tools for data collection, steps in data collection, challenges in data collection. So, what is the method of data collection? There are 3 things. One thing is objective method, subjective method, use of existing record. The objective method involves getting actual measurement and observation. For example, direct observation, and experiment, some using some doing in the labs. Subjective method involves the respondents providing the data. This is survey. And third method of data collection is use of existing record. It involves the use of data collected previously by other person or organization. Formal research, and then I correct already existing record. This is method of data collection. And also data collection. How do we collect the high quality data is relevant to your purpose. Follow the 4 steps. One is define the aim of your research. I said data collection, if you want to get a data collection before the time, you have to consider the aim of the research, type of data, the method and the procedure you have. So first thing is define the aim of your research. What kind of objectives for your research? Before you start the process of data collection, you need to identify exactly what you want to achieve. You can start by writing the problem statement. What is the practical or scientific issues you want to address and why does it matter? This is for question, for your research objectives. And next, formulate one or more research questions. Precisely define what you want to find out. Also, depending on your research question, you might need to correct quantitative or qualitative data. So, several times I talked to you, quantitative data is expressed in numbers and graphs and is analyzed through the statistical method is quantitative. And the other one is qualitative method. Qualitative data is expressed in words and analyzed through interpretation and categorized. Simply, qualitative is expressed in the words. Quantitative data is expressed in numbers. That's it. Quantitative is numbers. Qualitative is words. If your aim is to test a hypothesis, there are many powerful research method is hypothesis. So measure something precisely or gain large-scale statistical insights, and then correct the quantitative data. If your aim is to explore ideas, understanding experience, or gain detailed insight into a specific context, at this time, you correct the qualitative data. If you have several aims, you can use a mixed method. So this is correct by both type of data, word or number. So any data collection method is very powerful there. And the second steps of data collection is choose your data collection method. Which method you can choose? Based on the data you want to collect, decide which method is the best suit for your research. So choose your data collection method. Follow the experimental research is primarily quantitative method. Interview, focus group, and answerographies are qualitative method. Also survey, observation, and archival research and secondary data collection can be quantitative or qualitative method. Anyway, second step, you can carefully consider one method you will be used to gather information, gather data that helps you directly answer your research questions. And the third steps, plan your data collection procedures. If you make the aims, and second step is method, collection method, and then third step is your data collection procedures. Which procedures? When you know each method you are using, you need to plan exactly how you will implement them. What procedure will you follow to make accurate observation or measurements of the variables you are interested in? For example, if you are conducting surveys or interviews, you decide what form the questions. If you are conducting experiments, you make decision about your experimental design. For example, determine including and the exclusion criteria or something. So the data process procedures, for example, the operationalization and sampling and standardizing procedures. Operationalization. Sometimes your variables can be measured directly. Measure. Just measure. What is your age and what is your length, what is your weight. And sampling. Mostly in folds using the sampling because large population. So in this case, you may need to develop a sampling plan to obtain data systematically. So for example, if you choose the polling phone numbers, it's very difficult. If you correct the numbers morning time, daytime, and nighttime, or weekend, weekday, this is very serious different outcomes for your polls. That is, if you want to place also. So nowadays, president polls in the United States, which state is more decision for election? It's I don't understand or I don't follow the system of United States presidential election. So Sun Belt, you heard a lot of Sun Belt and the Blue Belt. In the United States, 50 states in here. But who decides the next president? Me or us? But the most peoples belongs to the state. For example, in the California, even if you are choosing the Republican, it means that. But it is very long time. The California is blue state. And the next second largest population in Texas. Texas automatically red state. So even if the election polls, the large members in California and Texas, 54, 38, 49, or something. But it's not important. It's not big values. Anyway, the Republican get the Texas. And Democracy get all thing in California. So that's why their presidents nominated two, Harrison and Donald Trump, never visit in here for election campaign. Because it's automatically blue state. But red state is automatically red state. So who decides the next president? This is blue, Sun Belt, 4 states, and the blue belt, some 4 or 5 states can decide the next president. So it's very, how can I say, it's unique and some unaccepted result. Anyway, this is for, that's why we come back in here. The sampling is very important. Some reporters says, who is nominated more powerful. How do they getting the data and then the output is different? It means the sampling is very, very important things. So I know these things very 50-50 to next president in the United States. So some report says Donald Trump is more closer to next president, or some report is very close to Harris for next president. I think his problem is the sampling method. the how can we sampling method is very another important area for fault systems. Anyway, standardizing procedures. This means laying out the specific step-by-step instructions so that everyone in your research teams collect data in consistent way. For example, there is some by conducting experimental under the same condition and using objective criteria to record and categorize the observation. This helps you avoid common research bias like omit variables bias or information bias. So, data collection is focused how to we escape the bias. So, for example, in the United States, how to sample them? So who is supported by next president? Sampling it means, last time I talked to you around 1,000 cases. It is not representative to present faults because California, any kind of samples exactly blue. In Texas, also any samples shows to the only red. So, in the United States, all place choose the sampling each state, divide the 50, simply 20, 200 times 50 states is 20, and just 1,000 cases. This sampling is representative or sampling exactly no, because it's states of California 20s most probably takes a blue. 20 samples from the Texas, exactly they choose the reddest. So each state I choose the 20, 20, 20 is very stupid idea. Most Maine and something very smallest states to get the 20 is very inadequate sampling. That's why these things have lots of bias in sampling method. So if you have met the collecting the data, first thing is aim and procedure and some techniques. Basically, you have to escape the bias. And next step is collect the data. If you decide the aim, procedure, and then you can use the collecting data. Finally, you can implement your chosen method to measure or observe the variables you are interested in. To ensure that the high quality data is recorded in a systematic way, here are some best practice. For example, record all relevant information as and when you obtain data. For example, notes down whether or how lab equipment is recalibration during the experimental study. Record, keep the record. And double check manual data entry for errors. Bias, errors, the same meaning. Double check. If you collect the quantitative data, you can assess the reliability, and validity to get an indication of your data quality. It means is if you choose the quantitative, then you can assess the reliability and the validity. So very difficult that. So okay. This one is for your 7th data collection techniques. Hopefully I talked to you 7, 6 data techniques, data collection techniques. Observation, interview and focus group, and transaction tracking, social media monitoring, and online tracking, survey, and forms. This is forms. So next week we will review the 7 kind of data collection techniques. This is for your research objectives, methodology. Okay, thanks for joining this class. And if you have any questions, let me know it by the office. Okay, thank you for joining.